Yeah, this on my on here real quick, and I just was, you know, thinking on it a little bit, and I wanted to just put my thoughts on it, on why is it that black coaches continually choose to go with coaching opportunities where it's like literally a 0% chance for you to succeed. You feel me? And it's like, you know, the NFL got a the bullshit Rooney rule, and that's what it is, bullshit. They don't really want to hire black coaches, which is cool, you know. And y- you can't force that shit, you know. There's no way of like, yeah, oh yeah, it should be equal. They put that rule in play, and some of the owners fake, interview black candidates, but they really don't want to hire them. And so you could say, all right, that's cool, but you can't raise your hand and take a position knowing that it's a high probability that you're gonna fail, and then with you failing, it's just gonna like say, well, hey, we gave them this opportunity to turn this shit around, and you know, and they didn't turn this shit around, but the whole time it's like we already see, like, it wasn't no way for Lovie Smith to succeed this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, even regardless on how hard his team played for him, and it was a couple of games that definitely could have went their way, but he didn't really have a quarterback that would give him the optimal opportunity to get wins. You know what I'm saying? So the coach last year, he found himself in the same position. But unlike with, Detroit Lions, like, even though Detroit had a bad record last year, the GM said, okay, yeah, we believe in him, and we see that, it's something there that you're starting, you're developing, you're building, and it's crazy because it's like, it's on, black coaches, unless Mike Tomlin, you only get literally a year to like show something or whatever. If you don't, most likely after the second year you're gonna get fired if you even make it to the second year. Jim Caldwell, he did a solid job in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, 9-7, 9-7. So he was building something so where we don't even know that third year could have been the breakout year. But, you know, they decided to go in a different direction. The job in Houston was a tall task. You had the Deshaun Watson situation where you was not gonna have Deshaun Watson. At that time he was a top 10 quarterback. So you don't have him, and then you going into the season saying, okay, yeah, we're gonna work it. And like I said, he did a phenomenal job. Like, that was his first time getting an opportunity to coach. He did a phenomenal job, and he didn't deserve to get fired. So you fire him, and then Lovie Smith take over. And so Lovie Smith saying, okay, all right, you gonna coach his boys up. Now, even when he was in Chicago and he had Jay Cutler solid, and even Rex Grossman, but David Mills is like, he's a backup dude. You know what I'm saying? And it's, even though he's in a winnable division, but if you don't have no quarterback that can run your offense the right way, you gonna lose. And your future is tied to the talent that you have on the roster. And they still was maybe two drafts away from really making some noise and shit like that. So my thing is, like, why is it that you take a bad job knowing that if you fail, the next crop that's coming up that deserve an opportunity, they're gonna reference you as failing and saying, well, we did try to give an opportunity to a black guy um and then he failed. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows a ton of politics behind it and shit like that. Like it's mapped out like that for a reason. You feel me? So it's like why don't you wait for the right situation to where you go to a place and you got pieces to where your chances of succeeding is higher as opposed to taking a job and for you to succeed, it's like everything literally got to fall into place perfectly. So it's like I don't really get that shit, and it was just, I mean, it was, it's kind of unfortunate to see that, that all down in Houston, they gave dudes, you know, just 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Um, they never should have fired Bill O'Brien, but Bill O'Brien didn't get along with the GM and the people up top, and then the fact that he green lighted that trade to trade D Hop for David Johnson. That's like one of the dumbest trades in NFL history. And so, the fact that he green lighted that, and then the fact that he wasn't really, buddy buddy with the dudes up top, kind of made it where they clipped him or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That kind of pissed Deshaun off to where he was like, he wanted out because not only did you traded, his top receiver that he had chemistry with, but you got rid of the coach that he was real fond of the coach. You know what I'm saying? Him and the coach, they was doing some things. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the way he is, but they was able to get some wins and some division titles or whatever. But they chose to go in a different direction, and so ever since then, it's like they really haven't been the same. But that it's just frustrating to see. Like every season, you'll see like a black dude raise his hand to take on a crappy job and shit like that, where it's like it's it's so much things that's is mounted against you that it's gonna be hard for you to succeed. In a perfect world, I wish they would have them where they would take positions where it was a higher probability for them to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And so like Ty Bowles, he has the opportunity to do something and open up the doors for other candidates if he's successful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. All right, thanks for listening.